One show that perfectly encapsulated the style and flair of early 2000s fashion set up against the backdrop of Miami was Eve. Eve premiered in 2003 alongside Girlfriends and Half in the network's Monday night lineup. The show centered around three friends as they navigated friendships, relationships, and their fashion careers. In this video, I'll be breaking down the styles of each of the main characters. Janie. Janie, the moral compass of the group, had a style that erred on the side of modesty. Janie would often opt for flowy silhouettes made with light and airy fabrics such as chiffon and silk that gave her somewhat of an angelic appearance, especially since her Christianity was a core pillar in her identity. Her color palette typically leaned towards jewel and earth tones, signaling how grounded and self-assured she was. The most quintessential Y2K piece Janie wore were these embellished chiffon tunics that were a bold yet modest statement piece which was indicative of her personality. Rita. Rita was a famous ex-model turned career woman who embarked on a journey of independence after facing a string of financial hardships. It's because of this that the character's values shifted along with her wardrobe. As she transitioned out of her party girl phase, Rita adopted a liberated working woman style that borrowed fashion motifs from the 1960s. Rita's style borrowed elements from the 1960s mod era, such as polka dots and chevron patterns. She often donned swing dresses adorned with pearls that she'd pair with a red lip. Her style also incorporated Y2K staple pieces like peasant skirts and matching skirt sets. She often wore statement tops, often embellished with sequins drawing attention to the bust area, and fringe dresses, another callback to the 1960s style. Shelley. Shelley, the main character of the show, worked as a fashion designer who co-owned a clothing boutique along with her friends. Out of the three main characters, Shelley's style had the most range, so I'll be breaking it down into 5 categories. Street style. Since Shelley's character grew up in the city of Philadelphia, streetwear was prominently featured in her wardrobe. Brands like South Pole, Baby Phat, and Rocawear gained popularity within the hip-hop community. Even the actress/rapper Eve had her own clothing brand called Fetish. Eve's character Shelley wore pieces from the brand Fetish, ranging from dresses to sweatsuits and accessories. A staple of early 2000s fashion were the velour tracksuits popularized by Juicy Couture. This cherry red Juicy Couture tracksuit was also worn by Miss Toni Childs from the TV show Girlfriends. Moto-style fashion gained popularity during this era as well, with Shelley's outfit being inspired by Kill Bill, which came out the same year. Capri cargo pants were another facet within the Y2K street style. The cargos paired with heels offered a chic utilitarian look that could be dressed up or down. Ultra-feminine athletic wear styled with side stripes were popularized in the early 2000s, with the most notable piece being the jersey dress. Micro-pleated miniskirts were a staple in Shelley's closet as they allowed her to ebb and flow between different types of styles. Casual. Y2K casual wasn't just a t-shirt and jeans, it made a statement, like this shirt that was part of the initiative to encourage young adults to vote, also worn by Joan Clayton from Girlfriends. Y2K casual consisted of statement tops, jackets, blouses, and tanks. The fabrication was often silk, which provided an ease and sexiness that elevated jeans, capris, skirts, and trousers. The camisole, reminiscent of bedroom attire, added a touch of feminine flair to any otherwise casual outfit. But nothing made a statement quite like the tunic top. Often embellished around the bust, the tunic top is by far the most quintessential piece of early 2000s fashion. Business casual. In the later seasons, as Shelley matures, her style evolves along with her. She'd often incorporate blazers into her casual wear for a more sophisticated look. Nightlife. In addition to work and home, the characters on the show had a third place for socializing, the Z Lounge. Club culture in the early 2000s consisted of dancing, freakum dresses, and stilettos. Shelley often donned figure-hugging, cleavage-bearing dresses in bright, bold colors and ornate embellishments. This era also saw the re-emergence of the flowy maxi dress, indicative of the stylish ease that defined the decade. Accessories. When the technology was innovative and Marc Jacobs was the creative director of Louis Vuitton, Shelley owned a white multicolor Speedy, a decade-defining bag worn by virtually every celebrity. Also featured was a Louis Vuitton Theta bag, which came in a variety of colors and re-emerged in 2003 when Zendaya became the ambassador of Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton accessories dominated the fashion scene in the early 2000s, largely due to Marc Jacobs and his creative direction at the time. The monogram craze also found its way over to Gucci, with Shelley owning monogram Gucci clutch and matching boots. Being the fashion girl that she is, Shelley also owned this rare pink Chanel bag that matched her pink pumps. A couple of purses from Eve's brand Fetish was also featured on the show, like this stunning bronze purse with the Fetish hardware detailing. Sneaker heels, and more sneaker heels. These sneaker heels predate the Isabel Marant sneaker wedges, as these feature a stiletto heel paired with an athletic sneaker design. Beyoncé famously wore a pair of Bapes the sneaker heels in her 2005 Check On It music video. Shelley was known for her statement heels, like her thigh-high boots, with metallic footwear being all the rage back then. Y2K fashion is nothing without its bling. The bigger, the shinier, the better. Shelley often wore statement necklaces, chokers, and chandelier earrings, bold pieces that complemented the character's bold personality. Perhaps the most notable accessory was Shelley's hair. The character began the series with platinum blonde hair that later transitioned into a two-tone peekaboo hair color with blonde on the top and red on the bottom. Even did it with braids. She transitioned into an auburn wolf cut with platinum blonde pieces that she wore both straight and wavy. From there, she went for a long honey blonde hairstyle with bangs, casually switching between straight, curled, and wavy styles. She'd often accessorize her hair with satin scarves, an elevated take on the rhinestone bandanas that were popular in that era. Eve is a time capsule of true early 2000s fashion. It was bright, bold, and opulent while simultaneously maintaining an effortless ease. It's interesting to see some of these decade-defining styles re-emerge today, as they should since fashion is cyclical. Thanks for watching.